All right, I'm in the opening round of the rookie division. I'm in my 99 account, so I'm using my T4 clubs and just going out there. And my goal with my 99 account has always been and will always be to play the minimum score so I can show you guys just like a nice clean round. And it's all about trying to put yourself in position if you got lower developed clubs so you can get into the cup. So a lot of that has to do with club selection, and there's several of these holes in here that you're coming in with a short iron, and the whole idea is to bring your most accurate short iron. I have most of them available in low level, but the Kingfisher definitely gives me the best accuracy and the best ball guide. So I want to stick with what's super accurate when you got a short iron. Try and get as deep into your short iron as possible. The deeper you can get, the better off you will be. So let's see what we can get done on hole number one. And hole number one is, So I'm going to do Juniper Point hole number two. Juniper Point hole number two. All right, so the way that the wind's blowing here, I practiced earlier in the week, and the wind's blowing like this, and it's making the setup that I practiced during last week's practice when we were just going out here playing the holes before the tournament started. I'm having to adjust over the sand. I don't have any low wind balls in this account to cut that out, so I'm going to do the no move shot. And now I need to figure out what club to use for the no move shot, because your original starting point is going to be different depending on which club you're using. So in my main account, I'm using a club that hits one. Man, I got 120 there. That just blows. Let's see where I'm at. Let's see what I've got, what my options are. 127, that's a little. I'm going to bring my backbone. I'm going to bring a nav. I have no idea what's going to happen. In my main account, I've been kind of working the numbers because the adjustment that I got at the beginning was a 1.1 backspin. What the hell is 1.1 backspin and 1.1 left? But that wasn't working with my Grizzly, so I'm down to, I moved it around. I went to half just to see what that looked like. I went to 1 and then I went to half because I wanted to go on the other side. So I wanted to make sure that if I got somewhere between half and 1 that, I could work it out. 1 put me in front of the hole, half put me behind the hole. I went to 3/4 and went in the hole. And then I did that earlier in my 77 account. I got one hole in one I got a hole in one on the front, and I did the same setup and was just off on the back. So I'm going to try the same setup here. This club hits the same distance and see where we're at. So I'm doing mid club. Where's my notes? Mid club. Part of the deal is too, I need to think here. Let me put my thinking cap on for a second. Well, mid club is 2.1. And I've been hitting my, I've only had the Grizzly for 3 months, and I've been hitting it wrong the whole freaking time. I've been thinking it's 100% accurate, and I've been just like, oh, yeah, no problem. And I've been hitting it wrong. I've been using the math for my short iron, my Hornet, on my Grizzly. And so I was hitting it wrong. So let's see here. I'm going to start off at the very beginning, just like I did with my upper developed account. And I'm going to do the 1 backspin, 1 left-hand side spin, mid club, plus 10%. Say that 10 times fast. All right. Off we roll. Let's make sure I picked that. Let's make sure I didn't just look at it. I actually picked it. I've had that happen before. I go in there to pick a club and I look at it and we talk about it and then I forget to pick it, which is a problem. So I'm going to do 1.1 times whatever the wind is, divided by 2.1. And we'll see where it puts us to start off with. I go first, so it's 3.1 equals divided by 2.1. It's going to be 1.62 rings. I'm going to do 1 and 1. It's 1.62 rings. 1.62. Forgot what I was doing. It's like, what are we doing here? Forgot I was playing golf. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if that adjustment was right or where I need to make a little bit of a change. Pretty close. Pretty close. Pretty close. And I think I had one and just the ever so slightest of a sliver of backspin on there. And I think the one might be like just dead on one or just a sliver less. But if I go back and watch that, I think there was just the ever so slightest of a sliver more than one backspin on that. It was close, but no cigar. The shot that I was practicing earlier in the week does kind of that right there, where it literally goes straight towards the cup, and if it's off, it misses. You're not engaging the hill at all. And I really like when I'm on holes like this of not engaging because the thing is that you have to hit it. You have to have your speed absolutely perfect when you're engaging hills and you're trying to use the brake to bring you back to the cup. And your speed's got to be absolutely perfect. So when you're in real life and you're out there, you can kind of get a feel for it. But when you're on here, I like trying to go right at the cup. The thing is if your speed's a little bit off and you're going right at it and you're not trying to use the brake, you could still end up in the hole. At least that's my thought process. That's why I was practicing the other shot. I was 3 rings off using 3 backspin, 1 right-hand side spin. I'm going right at it. But with the wind the way that it is, I was hitting a max number, and I got to move off. You got to move over to the sand in order to do the wind adjustment. All right, that was hole number 1. Hole number 2. I need to actually find my notes for my 99 account. Hold on one second. All right, found my notes and made sure any small wind adjustments elevation adjustments I've made on my main account, that I got those numbers on my transferred over to my 99 account. Let's see, hole number 2 is Juniper Point, hole number 6. All right, I know exactly what I'm doing here. I haven't got a clue. I'm hitting my QB. Where am I at? I'm hitting a QB, and I'm using a Kingfisher. I don't have a lot of Kingmaker, so I'm trying to save as many as I can. I'm using Titans. That's all I need. That's all I need. I am not bringing my putter. I am in the hole. Played my 77 account earlier. I dropped it on the front, and then on the back, I actually taken the shot hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and was right at the cup, and it bounced right over. It went in the hole and out of the hole. And usually the speed there is like it just dribbles right in the cup. I'm not sure exactly what was different, but it was right there. And I'm doing where's my numbers here? I think I'm doing 10% on the drive. Seems like that's putting me right down the middle. I'm trying to hit right down the middle of that fairway area with a QB and a Titan. And I'm leaving, doing max top spin. and I'm leaving 3.5 miles per hour of the power in. So go right down the middle. Right down the middle. I'm going to take out the side wind. Just 2.9. That's 3 right there. I'm going to square up to that. I'm going to put the power back in it. Using the wind to try and push me forward. Oh, I am so far off. I'm in the rough. In the rough. Ooh, got lucky. Can't be good, be lucky. That's the motto right there. That's probably going to put me more towards max club. Maybe mid. The one fault that the Kingfisher has is it doesn't have a lot of power. And when you first get it, it doesn't have a lot of topspin. It used to have none until it got to like level 3 or 4. But I think when they did the club buffs right before the club card trading came out, they gave it some topspin to start off with. So if you've got it in lower levels where it's weak, but I find that most of the time that I'm using my short iron, I'm actually applying a little bit of backspin. And one of the things that a backbone does get right off the bat is backspin. And it also has good ball guide, which is something you don't get in a lot of clubs when you first start playing. You've got lower developed clubs. So it gives you that combination. It has some weaknesses, but it's the best. It's a good choice. And there's min. There's max. So I'm about mid. Mid club with my Kingfisher is 2.1 per ring. And I have no idea why Playdemic feels that they need to put my opponent's marker up there. Where it's blocking my view. 2.1 per ring. It's 2.2, so it's just a sliver over a ring. Trying to hit it perfect. Oh, okay. I was on like a perfect run earlier. Now it's going to be, you're going to play that game with me? I got you. I was actually sitting at a little bit of an angle to my screen. And I was like, I need to move. No, you need to stay right here. Just take it. Bad timing. That's all right. The next hole is the hole, though. I really got to put myself in the right spot to try and get an eagle on this next hole. This par 5, most par 5s in Playdemic or in Golf Clash are eagle holes with a serious Albi opportunity, and this next par 5 is a birdie hole with a eagle opportunity. If you've got an upper developed extra mile, level 8, level 9, you got a power 5 ball, you've got a really serious chance of getting eagle on it and getting on in 2. But if you've got lower developed stuff, you're pretty much, especially if you've got lower developed rough iron and sand wedge, you cannot afford to get in the sand or the rough on this next hole. Good luck. All right, hole number 3. Let's check it out. I just want to get a visual mental image of it. I always like to look at the holes beforehand. I've done that game where I've went, oh yeah, it's on this hole, and I get to the hole and I go, damn, that's the wrong hole. It's the next hole. I always like to get a little image of it just so that I know I'm prepared when I land. And I'm taking where's hole number 3? I'm taking a QB and a Titan. The king of balls. That's right, you heard it here. QB Titan, I'm taking that bag right there. QB Titan, big dog. There is one club that I wanted to change in here. I wanted to change this club out for a Razor. So the Razor hits a little bit farther, but I find, and it's got much better ball guide. Accuracy is comparable. The Machete, if I get into the rough, that little bit of topspin's not going to save me. And hopefully if I get in the rough, it's on the second shot, not the first shot. But that ball guide is definitely helpful because that's the machete. With low level stuff, the machete is at this point overall day to day. I find out sometimes with the rough iron, I need a little backspin and it's got more rod distance. So in many cases, it's the better club. But where I would end up in the rough on this hole, the razor, I could bring it home with the razor. And I'm bringing a Titan, the king of balls. That looks like the bag right there. I was talking to one of my teammates, and he was talking about coins. Has a starter account, new player. I'm not sure if he's a new player or if it's just. I think he is a new player, and he's got lower developed clubs. And when you first start playing, it's you're gonna get more club cards and get to the point where you can upgrade your clubs, but it's all about coins because you got to pay for those. And so knowing which clubs to upgrade and which ones not to upgrade. And there's some of the clubs that you're going to upgrade until you get that next club, or you get that next club to level 3, and then you'll never put any more coins into that. In this account, when I first started it, I had some clubs and there was some of them, like the Saturn, for instance. I think it was like I waited until I got enough club cards to actually upgrade it to level 3 before I put anything into it. That way I had coins to work on some other clubs. See if they can get over. Not quite. Not quite. And it is kind of tricky. So I'm going to use a QB and a Titan. I'm going to put on 2.5 topspin. I want to be right there, dead center. 2.5 topspin plus 10%. So it's 4.5. It's going to be 4.9. Just trying to hit perfect. See if I can get centered up to my tablet. Hitting it one ring great to the left. Now let's see if I got my topspin right or if it rolls into the rough. Perfect. That'll give me a nice big dog shot on the other side, and I'm getting greedy. And that's one of the reasons why I switched over to the razor. Knock on wood, and I'm a woodworker and I don't have any wood right here in front of me. Knock on wood. I haven't been having a problem with the rough up there, but I've been getting super greedy on this second shot. And I've ended up in the sand once. I hit it great to the left once and great to the right once. And I ended up in the sand once and I ended up in the rough once. I'm trying to get as deep down in there as I can, so I'm as far into my kingfisher as I can possibly get. Because what's a kingfisher lacking? It's lacking a little power, but I'm way down in there. I don't have to get that far in, but I'm just trying to get deeper into my club. It's 4.2. My big dog is 2.5 per ring. So 4.2 divided by 2.5, 1.68, 1.7 rings. Trying to hit perfect. Let's see if I can hit perfect today. Hitting great to the right. I was tagging it earlier. I played my 77 account earlier, and I was on fire. I was hitting everything perfect. Wasn't getting everything in the hole. There was a few that I didn't hit perfect, but I was on fire. I had a really good round. I shot a minus 15 on the front and a minus 14 on the back, and I didn't pick up anything. I didn't pick up 1, didn't pick up 2, didn't pick up 4 on the back. Hitting a hole. I had one where I timed out, and then I was on hole number 4. I timed out. My opponent was emoji spamming me, and I didn't have enough time to turn the emojis off real quick because I was really low, and was emoji spamming me. D-bag from the word go. And then I turned around and I sank the eagle. I sank the eagle shot to recover and get a birdie. Okay, this is minus 10 to the cup. So where am I at in my club? So it's 3.0 times 0.9. Where am I at in my club? There's min, there's max. So I'm about mid club. So mid club is 2.1 divided by 2.1 is 1.3 rings. 1.3 rings. Here's 1, 3. Oh, I'm getting a little lag right here, and I have no idea why. Is that laggy? I haven't had any lag all day. Now all of a sudden I'm getting some lag. What's the deal? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to turn the game off, fire the game back up again. I was loading a video earlier in the background. I will make sure that's, I know it's uploaded now, but I'll make sure it's deleted, make sure I got all the stuff, how much power I got. I got plenty of power. In the hole, birdie. That is disappointing. That was one of the things that was going well with my 77 account earlier, is when you don't have any lag, it's amazing. And I think that half the time that's my issue, is I'm getting lag and it's throwing my timing off, because when I'm not getting any lag, I can see I tend to hit a lot more perfect shots, which isn't really surprising. Now lag, you're trying to anticipate it, and it really throws me off. All right, hold on 1 second. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I've got refreshed, videos uploaded. It took an hour to upload, and then it seemed like it took them an hour to process it. But it's up now, so maybe we can get rid of that lag issue. That's killing me. Hole number 4. What is hole number 4? City Park. Hole number 5. All right, I'm using a QB, a Titan, and a Kingfisher. QB, Titan, Kingfisher. The king of balls right there. If you got lower developed accounts, I'll tell you the Titan is the king of balls. And most of these tournaments are sponsored by Titan. If you have upper developed stuff, or if you've got a really good ball collection, the Titans may or may not come out of the bag, but it is a great, great ball. And we can win them. So they're a ball that you can build up a nice little inventory on them, especially if you don't waste them during one-on-one. If you're playing T7 and below, if you have lower developed clubs, there will be times you may have to bring out a little bit bigger ball, but if you got upper developed clubs, there's not really any hole lower, below T7 and below, that you really need to bring out anything more than a quasar. There's a few holes that a quasar will help you out on, but for the most part, you can get them done with a marlin. If you got lower developed clubs, there may be a few holes that you may have to up it to a katana, but the whole goal is stay in the fairway, and you can usually do that with without having to bring out the big stuff, the big guns. Save them for tournaments. Okay, I'm doing a 10% pull, so I'm going to do a 3 mile an hour pull. 3 miles per hour. And I'm going to lean against the right hand nubs. Hitting it perfect. The reason I'm doing that is if I hit it great to the left, I want everything on the ball taking the ball to the right. So even though if I hit it great to the left, the ball's still going to go to the right. And I want it to, that first bounce, if the first bounce is to the left, that's not what'll kill you. It's the second bounce to the left is what kills you. And if the ball's going in a right-hand direction, you got a little bit of right-hand side spin and you got a little teeny bit of curl. Everything on the ball, everything you put on the ball is going to the right. All right, here's the difficult spot. So I've been in between mid and max, but I'm hoping that with my Kingfisher, I'm going to be right towards mid club, which I'm going to use 2.1 per ring. And I'm not doing any elevation adjustment to the cup, just a straight up shot. In the hole, get in the hole. Nice, nice, nice. Crowd goes wild. So there's min, there's max. I'm right at max. So it's 1.2 per ring, really close to max. 1.2 per ring. So 3.3 divided by 1.2 is 2.75 rings. So there's 1, 2, 7, 5. Trying to hit it perfect. Hit it perfect. Get in the hole. It's going to be short. That little teeny bit of ball guide. The thing is I've been hitting and it's been coming into this hole a little hot, and I've actually ran over it. So I was back just a little because it's been running a little hot and rolling through, and that was just a little too much. Just a little too much. All right, that was hole number 4. That was how not to get an eagle on hole number 4. Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? City Park. Hole number 1. Now my upper developed account, I'm doing a backspin shot on this, and I don't have quite the backspin with this account. I don't have a club that has a maxed out Saturn has 92 backspin, and I don't have anything that has 92 backspin. My Grim Reapers, I think, is that the closest? It's 70. Maybe the Saturn's got 82. I'm going to take a Saturn. The shot will be a little different, but why not? Let's take it. Just go for it. I'm going to find a spot out here. There's a bunch. I know. There's a bunch of different ways you can come at this hole. But if I go on to this particular par 3 and I get a birdie, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. A lot of these par 3s, especially if you got lower developed stuff, man, just get in this one right here. And I say that, and then I'll turn around right here on this video and I'll screw it up. But it's really hard to get in trouble on this hole because everybody's got something in their bag that they can start off on the green. Where you get in trouble on a hole like this is when you're doing the stuff like my opponent's doing. They're trying to do the side rough bump there. If they hit this great to the left, they could end up in that sand trap there to the left. And I'm not interested in putting traps into play on par 3s. Just a personal deal. I'm not interested in it. We'll have to see what this feels like. It's got a little less backspin than my main. This is exactly what I'm doing in it. So there's one. Where does that put me? Go right. I'm going to try the same shot I'm doing on my main account and see what the difference is. Doing 10% to the cup. So 3.4 times 1.1 divided by 2. 1.87 rings. 1, 9. Or close to it. Catching it perfect. I'm going to have to move back a little bit because I don't have as much backspin. So I wanted to try that spot and see how it responded, and then I can start moving it back. I want to see how the 10% or the 10 less backspin affected the vol. Now that I know that, on the back 9, I will make an adjustment and try and dig it closer to the hole. Where the cup is at, there's a cut. You can see right here with this cut that's on here, and I was up here. I'm gonna make a massive adjustment, and I'm gonna go on the same line that the hole's on, and then I know what my range is, and I can start working it forward from there. Then I can start doing half adjustments, where I'm like half the cut, and then I can go up, and I can keep doing that until I find the spot where I'm on the other side of the hole, and then I can keep working it. I'm playing the clock game. That's what backspin's all about. That's why backspin shots are, in my opinion, they're low percentage. There are some holes that you can find a spot, and if you can find that spot, make great winds adjustments, you can get hole-in-ones. But it's one of those things where in your mind you always have fond recollections because you're always so close with backspin shots. Good luck in the tournament. All right, hole number, that was hole number 5. Hole number 6. All right, this hole right here. Let me go look at it. Let's go look at it. I know exactly what I'm doing. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right hole. Hole number 6. Juniper Point, hole number 5. And it is the hole. I know exactly what I'm doing on this. It doesn't matter if you have upper developed stuff, lower developed stuff. Doesn't matter. I'm bringing a Titan, the king of balls. I'm bringing a big Tapa. And what I should bring here, just in case it all goes in the crapper, I'm going to bring my Guardian. I want to bring, let's see, I really like my Saturn more than my B-52. You need a little bit of backspin on this shot. I'm afraid I like the accuracy, I like the ball guide, but I'm going to bring my Saturn because it's a great utility club for this. All right, there we roll. Rolling, rolling, rolling. I only see 2 different ways to go with this. QB over to the island. I'm not a big fan of using you're hitting to a little island over there. Why wouldn't you bring a 100% accurate club? Or a big topper going straight forward. It carries 20% farther into this hole. So it carries 20% farther in here, and I'm 5 rings off that transitional surface. So I'm 10, well, with my big dog, or my big topper, at the level that it is right now, that's 2.5 per ring. So 5 times 2.5 is 12.5 miles per hour. And that'll actually be about 10 miles per hour because these rings are bigger. But I'm like 10 miles an hour off of down in that hole. So I'll bet you money, either you or you've seen your opponents get down in here and not make a great wind adjustment. So right there, they should be doing a 20%, which is 4.3. And on that club, it's 4.3s eking towards 2 rings. I've seen a bunch of people, just like my opponent right there, just overshoot that with an extra mile. And the deal is that you will net more yards with a big topper and a Titan than you will with an extra mile and a Titan. And here you're having to short shoot your extra mile. So you're definitely going to net more yards with a big topper. Max topspin. I mean max topspin, and however much curl I can eke on top, or side spin I can eke on 2 rings off the transitional surface. Wind's blowing 4-1. So there's 4-1. That puts me in the clear. And it carries 20% further down into that hole. And I'm going to put just a little teeny bit over. I'm going to rub against the nubs. Hitting it perfect. And look how much distance I have between me and the rough. A mile. Look at how much distance I cleared. A mile. I'm trying to get up there to 390. And I got a lot on that. That was way down there. 400. That's definitely going to put me. I mean, I may actually be in mid long iron. And if I am in mid, that's 3 per ring. What am I doing on this? This is hole number 5. I'm doing this hole number 5. Hole number 6, I'm doing plus 5% to the cup. 1.05 times. And it's either 2 per ring or 3 per ring. One of the two. See where my opponent put themselves? Not too much farther than where I hit. I want to be as far off of this as I can, and I want to put as much side spin on. I'm going to do 3 backspin. I want to aim it right up at it. And it is rolling forward a little bit. So it's 3.6 divided by 2. It's 1.9 rings. .9. Getting it 1 ring great to the right. Arrgh. And got 400 yards out there with a mid-level big topper. I mean, everybody's got a big topper in their bag, and it doesn't take, I don't even know. I mean, it has 100% topspin right off the bat. I think its power when you first get it, when it's level 1 or 2, is it might be a little bit lower in power, but you can get out there with a big topper and not have to do any hero shots and not have to bring out a 4 or 5 power ball and just let the wind do the work for you. And you have plenty of room, and you can put just a nubbin of overpower on it. Rubbing the nubs. You got to call them something. They never called them anything, so that's what I've been calling them for 3 years, is the nubs. So rubbing the nubs. If you don't give it a name, we're going to figure out one for it. That's just how it works. In the hole, eagle. All right. Good luck in the tournament. Off to hole number 7. So what do we got for hole number 7? Hole number 7, this is par 3 here, and I'm working this par 3. I'm working my shot for my clubs from the deal, and that's just how it goes. So in my low level account, I'm using a sniper and a navigator. But here I'm using a sniper and a Titan. And the reason is because of redline. My low level sniper here only has, let's see what the hole is. Let's make sure I'm thinking the right hole. Hole number 7. I'm running into my red line because my low level sniper only has 160 yard raw distance. And so I need a club that'll put me farther up there. And the wind's been blowing high enough that a power 2 ball, I run into my red line and I can't fully adjust out the wind. So it's right there on the cusp. And switch. And we'll switch this one to a sniper. Sniper Titan. Off we roll. I am doing a 30% wind adjustment. Yes, I said 30%. I'm going to over adjust this sucker until I end up on the left-hand side. That's the deal. I keep ending up on the right. Now, granted, I'm not putting any side spin on it at all. And if I put just a little teeny sliver of side spin, left-hand side spin on it, it would probably help me. But if I can get right to the edge of the cup, I'm having a hard time even getting to the edge of the damn cup. I keep in and up to the right. Don't ask me why, but I am. And it's because of the headwind. The headwind's throwing the shot off. It's going to be 2 top spin. A 30% wind adjustment. Let's see what kind of wind I get. 3.1 is 4.03 rings. Move that over just a titch. 2 top spin. The ever so slightest, and I am aiming towards the left-hand edge of the cup. It's 4.3 rings, 4.03. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a sliver. Oh, I got it great to the right. Damn it. And it went just great to the right. That 30%. I started at 0. I was way off to the right. And then I went to 10. Then I went to 20. I'm at 30. I've hit those perfect so that I keep making adjustments going in. And that looks like I went to 25. Because I kept getting closer to the hole and it was looking better and better and better. And I went to 25 and it didn't quite cover the gap. So I was like, okay, my next time I'm on that hole, I'm using a 30. And then I didn't hit it perfect, which tells me nothing. Damn it. Damn it, Jim. I'm just a golfer. Here we go. Getting ready to forfeit. Giving my opponent some coins. And a chest too. All right, that was hole number 7. Let's go to hole number 8. Hole number 8. And this is the hole right here that is eating people's lunch. And it is Juniper Point it's City Park, hole number 2. Now my teammate Mike, who actually just called me a second ago, if I could spin this screen right, I keep saying I'm 3 rings off of the surface. So I'm off of this surface. So when I set this up, here's my center line. I'm going to have my center line right up against this. So, because I'll turn it so that I'm kind of at this angle. And so my center line is going to be right along this. And from this point to the center of my ball guide, I want to be 3 rings. So my blue ring. So when I'm stretching it out, because I'm doing this at full distance so that I can get as close up here as I can so I can try and get that right, my white rings are rubbing up against here, and I think it's confusing people. So what I'm saying is that if you look at my center line when I get on the hole, and watch when I get on the hole so you'll see what I'm talking about, it's going to be lined up here, and then I'm going to be 3 rings off of that point. And then I'm going to take out the wind plus 10%, and I'm going to do max side spin, max curl, and I'm only doing 3 top spin, and that should put me Every single time I do it, it should put me right here in the middle, unless I catch the glitch where it slides me. And if it slides me, I'm screwed because I don't have good recovery clubs. So I'm going to take a QB. QB. How much time we got on this video? We're getting close. I may be running out of time. I may have overdid it right there, explaining what I was doing right there. QB. This club's not really going to come into play. No, it is going to come into play. What am I thinking? I'm going to take a hammerhead. QB, hammerhead. Tighten. That's all I need. That's all I need. And if for some reason this gets screwed up, I'm going to lay it up in front, down at the bottom. And I'm going to take a shot straight out at -5% to the cup. My hammerhead hits 1.7 if I get to my hammerhead. Let's see what my opponent does here. I know it seems weird me being way off to the right, but I'll tell you that when you're trying to put max curl on, it's so easy to over curl it because you're not leaving yourself enough room for the curl to become effective. And you'll do exactly what my opponent did right there, and they got lucky. Woo! That was luck. Okay, so I've got my center line right on the edge of that. And I'm pulling out here. And I'm 3 rings off of that transitional surface. And then I'm putting on this and about eking towards 3. And I'm taking the wind out plus 10%. That's 4/4. A little at the 11.59 instead of the do 12. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. And that should put me dead center in the middle of that fairway area unless I catch that little slide glitch. It puts me right there in the middle of it. I was not near anything. I am not trying to get greedy here. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of people fail on this hole, and all I want to do is end up dead center in the middle of that fairway area. It gives me a max wood to the green. And earlier today I caught the hole in one here, but I was far enough forward that I was able to get my second bounce so that it was actually up here at the top. But when my second bounce is on that hillside, it's taking an irregular bounce to the right. And I'm doing plus 5% to the cup times whatever the wind is, divided by 1.7 per ring with my hammerhead. So 1.5 times the wind. 4.5 divided by 1.7 is 2.8 rings. And I got plenty of room to get up here. Get as far forward as I can. And it takes very little adjustment to get it up to the cup. I need to put a little more side spin on. Okay, it's 2.8 rings. There's 1, 2.8. Hitting it perfect. Not getting any lag now. It's helping my timing. Ooh, just a little on the inside. And that's just lack of ball guide. Lack of ball guide, not enough practice where I kind of can anticipate it. I play this account for you guys because I really want my whole goal, like I said, with this account has always been to demo just how to get the minimum score and show you guys the safest way to get the minimum score so that you can just go out there and get the minimum score. And then it's really about making great wind adjustments and knowing your clubs. And you play with your clubs if you've got, especially if you only have, if you've got a low level account, you only have one account. You have more practice with the limited ball guide that you may have if you have a lower developed account. So you can anticipate it a little bit better, and help get you in the right spot so that you can try and pick up a shot. So I'm never too worried about it. But I do like to give you guys really good, safe options so that you're in the right spot, so that you at least have a shot to pick up something. Continue. Hole number 9. Hole number 9. I'm gonna change up. I'm gonna try something different on hole number 9. Let's try this. Let's try this right here and see if this works. If it epic fails, then we're in big trouble. Tighten. I have no idea how much topspin to put on this shot, but let's try it. I'm not even going to look at it. I know what hole it is. I know this hole. I know the last hole. I've been doing the shot where I lay up at the top. I've demoed that shot several times so you guys can see what that looks like. Now I'm going to try the shot going over to the left. I'm hesitant to do the shot to try and bounce over, because if I end up in the rough, I'm screwed. If I end up over the rough over here, I'm screwed. I'm not sure I have enough to get down in there, to be honest with you. And I don't know. Hey, yeah, I got the wrong club in there, so we'll have to do it with the extra mile. Extra. 2-3. Just a little over a ring. I can't really do anything about overpower here. Isn't it perfect? Just trying to get out there as far as I can. You need to get way out here if you're going to go for the Albie. So I'm going to have to bring a big topper. I may change that on here. I may bring a big topper. I've got plenty of room there, so I'm going to change that up. I'm going to put big topper. Big topper. We'll net more yardage with a big topper. I can try and get all the way to the tip. If you can get all the way out to the tip out there, you've got, with a big dog, you have an Albie shot. It's not the greatest Albie shot in the world because you have a limited ball guide, but you have an Albie shot. The shot that I was demoing earlier this week up here, I was trying it because it seemed like a pretty safe. I was seeing if it was a safer shot with these clubs, and I was able to get up and get my eagle, but I had zero chance for an Albie. So if you're interested in that shot, I posted for the qualifying round. That's the shot that I did. They're going to like that. They're going to like that a lot. That will, down in this area here, will give them an Albie shot. And that was with a Marlin. So I need to be up in this area right here if I want to go up there. So I'm just gonna put the ball up. That might be just a titch too much topspin. Go 3.5. I'm gonna move over just a smidget. What does that give me? Okay, 3.9. 2.5. There's 2.5. I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure if that was right. That was a ring and 2/3. Hitting it perfect. I'm just trying to lay myself up there on the edge so that I can chip it up. Hopefully that will land on the fringe and not get on the green. Oh, okay, that'll be okay. That'll be all right. I'm not a really good putter, so I don't like having to take. To me, that's a long putt. If you watch my videos on a regular basis, I don't have to take putts that long very often, so I don't really like long putts. And that is what I would consider a long putt. At this point, they would have been better off bringing a big dog. If they got a Cataclysm 3, they would have been better off bringing a big dog, because I believe a big dog has more distance. Hey, I'll tell you, everybody talks about, I want an APOC, I want a Cataclysm, I want those clubs, but you gotta when you get them, just because you got them, they are not instantly better because it took you a while to get them. So you've got other clubs, you got to weigh your options. I think a big dog would have been a better choice right there. It's not that they can't get up, because they obviously did. It's just that, why wouldn't you bring your best club that you have in your bag for that option? They'll have a nice chip on from there. Nice chip. Uh-oh, I missed it. Isn't that the crapper? Played the whole round nice and clean and then missed that putt. Rat bastards. And then it's going to roll down and give me the same damn putt that I just had. I had that happen on a course one time. I hit a putt. I went to I was in Puerto Vallarta and we were playing on a course. They played the World Championship of Golf there the week before, and they had the same. We were playing. I have a friend who's a member of that golf course, and we went out there and we played from the gold tees where the pros were playing, and they had the pin set up where the pros were playing. I got on one of the greens and hit it up there and ended up going past the hole, and then it caught the slope and went around. It literally went around the hole and rolled right back to where I was at. Was not a happy camper. I will say I parred the first 6 holes, and I